unfertig.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed unfertig. I am something and finished. I am
Exactly.
Is this X-rated?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Is your mind X-rated, Steph? It's the Germany Experience, the podcast about life in Germany as seen through the eyes of outsiders. And what is it, week 3 of being at home, social distancing? It's been a long time. I've kind of lost track of how much time has passed and where we are. At least the good thing for me is I still have a job where I'm continuously working, and I am fortunate. But for me, the time at home has been quite a difficult thing. It's difficult to balance home office, as the Germans call it, or remote working, with having 3 kids at home the whole time. So that's been quite interesting with one with a 5-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a 9-year-old special needs boy. It's been challenging to try and get everything sorted out and work. But we're getting into a rhythm now, and the kids are having a great time. And what's great is this weekend, the weather was fantastic. The weather was really, really good. But the problem with this is that lots of people are going out, which is fine, because in Germany, the whole social distancing thing, the guidelines are you can go out. You're just not supposed to meet in groups or expose yourself to other people who might infect you or you might infect them. That's all well and good, but I've seen reports already from today, the first day of nice weather on a Sunday, and people were out and about in droves, and not just sticking to the guidelines, but there were reports of markets that were packed full. I've seen photographs where there's just tons of people. So don't do it, people. The figures are looking better for Germany. The coronavirus things, the curve looks like it might be flattening, and everything's looking positive, but it's very early days in this whole thing, and now is not the time to go back to normal. It's not normal yet. Don't stop it. Stop. Because the better we do this now, the less time that we will be stuck staying at home and isolating ourselves. Although, I don't know about you, but it's difficult to imagine what it's like to go back. I had someone from our neighborhood pop by to drop off some things unexpectedly, and it was so strange to have a stranger at my front door, and for us to be kind of like, we were still 1.5 meters apart, but I was like freaking out inside going, what is happening? There's a stranger here, someone from the outside. And it was very weird to deal with, and I think it's going to be very strange when we do get back to opening public life, getting back to whatever normal is going to be like when we're ready to go back out. And it's just going to be so strange at first. It's going to be really strange. But I know, I do not take it for granted that I still am able to work and that I have a family with me. I'm not alone, and that things are pretty good in self-isolation for me personally, but I know that's not the case for everyone. So just hang in there. Just keep up the hope, and I think let's hope this blows over with as little damage as possible. Anyway, so the whole coronavirus thing still going on, as you know, and one of the things that has been most inspirational to see during the whole thing is how companies are helping people by offering certain services for free, or people are offering services for free, and it's just incredible to see people coming together for everyone else in order to help out. And this week I got an email from My Help Buddy, where I am registered as a buddy. And I don't know if you've heard the episode, but right at the beginning of when I started this podcast, I interviewed Arvi from India, who is the founder of the startup. And so I that's why I've signed up for My Help Buddy. And the whole idea is it's a platform where you have buddies who can provide services for people looking for it. So foreigners in Germany can go on there and they say, I need a translation job, for example, and then a buddy will get the contract and they'll do it and charge a fee. And of course, My Help Buddy was taking commission for that. But I got an email to say My Help Buddy will not be taking any commission. And the reason that they're doing this is to help freelancers who are having a very difficult time. As I said right at the top, it's a difficult time for freelancers. So they're helping out. My Help Buddy is giving freelancers a platform where they can offer their services, hopefully get a bit of paid during this time, and they won't have to give any commission to My Help Buddy. So that is very cool. Well done, RV and the team from My Help Buddy. Another project aimed at helping people during this time is by Nicole of the Expat Cast. What she's trying to set up is a way to connect people who are living in different parts of Germany to get access to someone who can help them. So I don't know where you are, but for example, I'm out here in the country, in the Franconian countryside. And if I was new here and couldn't speak the language very well, I wouldn't be able to really know what was going on in this area. I mean, you've got access to things like Deutsche Welle and Spiegel in English and the local.de, but these give news reports on a sort of a national level or at least a very large, higher level. But you might want to know what's happening in your neighborhood or in your area or in your town, right down to that level. And there's a lot of news reports, but they're all in German. So what Nicole's trying to do is offer help to those people who need help translating news reports or announcements or things like that. And so she's asking for people who can offer some kind of translation, not an official translation services, just someone who understands German and who can be able to explain it to these people, looking for the help to explain to them what's going on or what's happening in certain news reports. I think I've explained this very badly, but that's the idea behind it, is just to help connect people. So I've put the link to where you can get in touch with Nicole and give her email address, whether you're someone who can help people to understand German news reports or announcements or whatever's going on in their area and answer the questions that they have, or if you are someone who needs that kind of help, get in touch with Nicole, and she is going to match you up with someone who can help you. It's a great project and effort by Nicole. One other thing that I want to mention, because before I get on to my guest this week, is that I got another 5-star review. And this time it was on Podchaser. Podchaser.com is a website that is kind of like IMDb, if you know the Internet Movie Database. So Podchaser is that for podcasts. So it's a database of podcasts and the creators involved with those podcasts out there. And it's a very useful resource, and you can also review podcasts on the Podchaser platform. So it's great. I really enjoy using it. I'm listed there. You can find the Germany experience there as well. And I actually got a 5-star review on Podchaser. This is what the user named Banksia had to say. While I might be tolerated as a tourist, welcomed even, my age alone would prevent me from being long-term German resident potential. Nevertheless, I am binging on episodes of the Germany experience, thanks to fascinating, entertaining guests. What an amazing cross-section of people. I hope there is no end to them. There's no end to them, Banksia. There's a lot more coming. There's a lot more. I've already got some very, very cool guests lined up for the next few weeks I'm very excited about. Well done, Sean, for finding them, even if they may have found you. What a group they would make at a party. No one would want to go home. And that's exactly a good point. I would love to have a party with all the guests that I've had on my show. I've been very lucky that I've had such interesting and fun guests. And as I always say, the guests make this podcast. There is no Germany experience without the guests. So thanks to all my guests for being so interesting. And thank you to Banksia for leaving that review. Okay, so now, finally, after all that yammering on, let's get to my guest this week. She is Steph Fuccio. She comes originally from the USA, but she's been a serial expat for many years. She is the host of the Geopats podcast, and I've made an appearance on that Geopats podcast. And she also initiated the whole podcast review day initiative. If you're wondering what that is, I'm going to read it from her website, stephfuccio.com. On the 8th of every month, we are posting podcast reviews as part of the hashtag #PodRevDay, Podcast Review Day. Why? Because podcasters work their butts off, yeah we do, and deserve to know how much they've impacted your lives. Here's how to participate. Step 1, write a review on Podchaser. Step 2, use their share link to post it to Twitter with hashtag #PodRevDay. Step 3, mark your calendar for next month's event. Step 4, smile. You made a hard-working podcaster smile. And yes, I do smile every time I get a review. And even if it's bad, I love it. I just love getting reviews. Yeah, so you can find the details, stephfuccio.com. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because PodRev Day happens on the 8th of every month. And guess what? The 8th of every month is coming up. 8th of April is coming right up. So why don't you take part? Whether you review this show or one of your other favorite podcasts, get involved and get to reviewing podcasts. Anyway, but I digress. Let's move back to Steph Fuccio now. She recently moved to Germany from China, and I recorded our discussion just after she'd arrived in Germany, but it was just before coronavirus really became a big thing here. So at that time, we were still very much unaware of just what a problem it would become later on. So we didn't even, it didn't even factor into our discussion really. because she was a fresh German learner, and I guess still is, at level A1, I figured, let's see how she does with some German idioms, because I think that's one of the most difficult things for German learners at the beginning is to understand German idioms when they're thrown out in everyday conversation. And Steph also explains why she queued for the Ausländeramt from 1 o'clock in the morning. It was such a fun chat. I hope you enjoy it. Here's Steph Fuccio.
Hi, it is a pleasure and an honor to be on this podcast.
No, the honor is all mine, I can tell you that. I've been on your show before.
You have.
So I was just waiting for the chance to get you on my show. And now you were an expat in China for when I met you and for a long time. But now you're an expat in Germany. So welcome to Germany, but maybe give a background of how you've landed up here.
Oh, gosh. Wow. That's an episode in and of itself.
Keep it short, Steph. Keep it short.
I know. Do you know who you're talking to? I don't know how to do that.
Oh, God. Settle down, folks. This is going to go long.
Oh, gosh. Okay. In short, my husband and I came to Germany 2 years ago on vacation. We actually did a month-long vacation, 3 weeks in Spain and 1 week just in Berlin, because my husband's a massive history buff, and that was my... Here you go. I've had 3 weeks in Spain. You get to have fun in Berlin. But we both fell in love with it. Yeah. So we ended up going, man, we should have done it the other way around, like 1 week, one place in Spain, and then 3 weeks in Germany. We wanted to see so much more. So we're like, hey, we're serial expats. We need a new country to move to. Why don't we look into moving there? Boom, boom.
What a life. What a life to just decide, hey, let's move somewhere else, and then off you go. How difficult was it to leave China?
Yeah, there was a lot more work between the thought and the ba-boom. But yeah, absolutely. And we're still in the middle of the paperwork. We're probably going to be temporary people here until mid-year to maybe fall. So it's a process. But you and a lot of your listeners already know a lot of that process.
There was something interesting. You had an episode, I think, what was the episode titled, where you detailed your adventure going to the Ausländeramt, right? And you actually stayed overnight. It's all in the episode. Tell me what the episode name is, and just tell me briefly what you had to do, because I have never had to do that, Steph.
I think it's distinctly a Berlin thing, because a lot of people seem to come to Berlin first, and then if they scatter to different places in Germany, they do that. So it was episode 115.
Right, that's the Geopats.
It's a really
podcast,
long name,
by the way,
so
guys.
I'll just Geopats podcast, Geopats, and it's just me talking about my job seeker visa. It doesn't have a short title. I told you I can't do brief.
No, you don't do brief, but it was such an entertaining episode to listen to, because you went to that line at like midnight.
1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning, and waited outside with a lot of people until they opened at 7 a.m.
Because that's kind of like an iPhone release or something like it. When Apple brings out a new product, people are queuing outside for 24 hours before. That's what you had to do just to get into, because you didn't have an appointment, right?
Because it's almost impossible to get in the system to get an appointment. Yeah, they're so impacted in Berlin. It is absolutely crazy. So yeah, we actually had been trying since, I want to say November or December of last year to get an appointment online, and could not. And we only had 3 months tourist visa. So we needed to, go in there and at least start applying, because sometimes you don't get it the first time you go. There's something wrong. There's something missing, that kind of thing. So we needed to start the process of trying to get the visa. And so we camped out all night with a lot of folks.
Well, I recommend people go and listen to the episode, because it was a very interesting story to hear. How are you learning the language? Are you learning the language, and how are you doing it?
I took 2 months of an intensive English class in Berlin, and that ended last Friday. And now you're going to laugh. My new method this week is Podstock actually has a podcast. And so I am going through and listening to there and just writing down words I don't know. Oh. I don't think it's terribly effective yet, but I'll add on other things, and I can still go and review in the books that I have. But I wanted to hear more of like longer passages and conversations and like question and answers.
I think that's a very good idea.
And I want to go to Podstock. So I figured, hey, I can get to know the people and some of the language at the same time, maybe.
Yeah, and just to be clear for those who don't know, Podstock is a podcasting festival that's held in Germany. Travis spoke about it in his episode back in January, and it's essentially, I think it's near Hanover somewhere, and it's out in the woods, and it's very low key. People just go out there, and there's all kinds of podcasts, live podcasts happening. It seems amazing. I would love to go one day.
You should go. I heard about it on your podcast, so this is very meta.
You're right. This is very meta. There you go.
This is.
There you go. It does seem like an amazing place from what I heard. But I think you're also on the right track with how you're doing that with learning German. So you did the intensive course, you've got the background and the basics, and then just to immerse yourself in conversation. Because really, one thing that I discovered, and one thing that I get from a lot of people, is that what you learn in the Volkshochschule or the different language courses you go to is very theoretical German, which does help.
Yes.
But then when you get out into talking with people and understanding everyday conversation, you are utterly lost. So if you're taking that approach and listening to podcasts and writing down things that you don't know and trying to get meaning from context and that kind of thing, I think that's going to massively help you in the long run.
I really, really hope so. Because unlike other languages that I've tried to learn, especially Spanish, the speed of Spanish just throws me off.
Yeah.
No matter how many words I know, I cannot understand it. But German feels a lot slower to me. And so it feels more doable. The grammar in the cases kick my butt, but the speed of it doesn't intimidate me. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's just something you have to accept.
So I don't know if I'm done with the classroom because it does give a good shape to my day.
Sure. Yeah.
And since I'm job hunting, it's kind of nice to have that community. So I might do 2 months on, 1 month off or something like that. But the thinking of things in a box like that, like it's taught, is just not how my brain works. So I need to use it outside of those boxes and to know, you use this because it's dative. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
That's a label that we put on afterwards. Yeah.
But you definitely need the classroom situation. You're right about that as well. But I think it's important to immerse yourself in actual conversation, and podcasts are a great way of doing that. So I thought, since you are new, something that I've been wanting to do with a guest on the show is especially someone, I love people who are just learning German, because first of all, I think you're in for a treat. It's fun to learn a new language, and German was a fun language for me to learn. So you're in for a treat. So I'm very excited for you, Steph. Oh my. Yes. And then secondly, I like just throwing things that I found fascinating when I was learning German in the beginning, and seeing how other people react to it. And one of those things is German idioms. And the thing about German idioms is that if you hear them in conversation, you just like, it's a very good way of getting lost very quickly. And people don't understand or don't realize how much we use idiomatic expressions. I mean, even in English, when you really analyze, like when I was trying to understand idioms, I would generally relate them to idioms in English, because there's no other way to say it. That's why they're idioms. So I thought what we'd do is I would drop some idioms for you, and then I'm going to tell you the idiom in German, and you can tell me what you think it means, and then I'll tell you the English translation 1-to-1, and then you can try guess the meaning of the idioms.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm ready.
And some of these are my favorite that I learned when I learned them for the first time in Germany. I was like, what? Yeah. Why would that be a thing? But yeah. So you ready, Steph?
Okay. I'm as ready as I can be.
All right. I hope you haven't been cheating. And look, I hope you haven't. Have you touched on idioms in your language courses yet? Is that something that they cover?
A1. I just finished A1. No.
Okay, so no. No. Nope.
No.
Okay.
It's been 2 months. Be kind.
So let me start with this one. So this will be the first one, and it's got an English equivalent, but this is the German one. Jemandem die Daumen drücken.
Daumen. Do I get to use a dictionary for like 1 word or 2 words or anything?
Yeah, you can. You know what? I'll allow it, Steph.
All right. I could have done it and you wouldn't have known. I always have Google.
You could just Google these.
Oh no, I don't want to Google the whole thing. What I found is that structures aren't that bad. It's just individual words that I don't know so much.
Yeah.
That sounds like I know a lot of vocabulary, and that's untrue. Oh, okay. There's something about a thumb, maybe. Can you say it one more time?
Jemandem die Daumen drücken.
There are so many words in that I do not know individually.
Okay, so you were right about the thumb.
Okay.
Drücken means to push. So Daumen drücken means push thumbs, and jemandem.
Oh, this is the good luck thing.
Yeah, it's the good luck thing. So basically it translates directly to push the thumbs for someone or something. And it essentially means exactly like you said, to hold thumbs or cross fingers for someone is how we would say it in
Do you know
English.
what? We actually did learn that in my class, and she did the hand gesture, and I had heard of it before. I don't remember if it was on Nicole's or your podcast. And when I heard it from you guys, I was thinking that thumbs would touch each other.
Oh, right. Because that would make sense,
know what
wouldn't it? To push the thumbs,
Right?
It does. You're
But
right.
when she did it in class, she just put it on the outside of her hands,
Yeah.
and I just looked at her dumbfounded.
What? Hey, that is
how
such a
is
good
that
point.
lucky?
I didn't think about that. I didn't. Of course, it means that you should be pushing the thumbs. Germany, your language. Come
What are
on.
you doing?
What are you doing with your idioms?
German language?
Get
What
it
is
right.
happening here? Yeah, because it literally it's on the outside of the hands, right? You just hold your hand, roll your hands up, and then touch the outside.
Okay, so you actually got that one. So pretty impressive so far. So the next one that I've got for you. Ich bin fix und fertig.
Oh, I should know fertig. We had that in class. Okay,
Yeah,
ich bin is obviously I am.
Yes.
Fertig comes up as fertig, which means I'm spelling it wrong. Is it an F or a V at the beginning?
It's an Fertig. Fertig.
Yeah, I did it. Okay. Fixed on fertig. Mm-hmm. Fixed on fertig. I am something and finished. I am.
Exactly.
Is this X-rated?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Is your mind X-rated, Steph?
No, sorry.
Actually, that's a good idea for a future episode. I'm going to look for sexual innuendos as idioms because there must be those. There must be like euphemisms and innuendos that this is going to be a future episode. I'm going to have to find a victim for that.
You would have such a spike on that episode. It'd be ridiculous.
I would.
You would. Look
Okay.
how your voice goes deeper when you say that. Oh, I would. Sorry.
Okay, so we got Ich bin fix und fertig means I am beaten and finished. That's the one-to-one English translation. So what do you think is the meaning? When do you think that the Germans would use that?
I am worn out.
When someone is completely worn out or exhausted, or they're just completely done, they're like, Ich bin fix und fertig.
Yeah.
I am absolutely done. I don't know if
I
there's
have
a...
use for this.
I don't know if there... You do? Bist du fix und fertig, Steph?
Yeah.
I do like that
That's
you thought it was
hilarious.
X-rated. And now that I look at it, Ich bin fix und fertig, I can see why someone might think that it sounds X-rated because it does sound if you don't know the
It
words.
almost seems like I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, that kind of thing.
It might, yeah. If it means that any Germans listening, please let us know. I need to know.
Oh my goodness.
The next one it was my absolute favorite when I heard it for the first time. I've loved this one, and I find a chance to use it whenever I possibly can. It's called So this is it. Die Kuh vom Eis holen.
What the heck? See, now I can't get my mind out of the gutter, and I'm just like, whoa, I do not want to translate.
You're turning it
like
into
where
an
my brain is
X-rated
going.
thing.
Something like ice is ice cream, not ice box. So that makes no sense. So
Yeah, but
ice
it could also
holen.
be ice. Ice could also be normal ice, and in this case, it is normal ice. So it's ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, sorry, one more time, and then I promise to just spit out a
Die Kuh
guess.
vom Eis holen.
This is a very cool one. I mean, no pun intended. No pun intended at all.
Yeah, I see what you
This
did
is
there.
basically like the coldness from the middle of the ice or something, from the hole in the ice.
Kind of. So the Kuh is the word for cow.
Oh, no, not at all then. You
No.
were wrong, Stephanie.
Not in the least. But it was I like
do
the way
you
you
spell
were
that?
going. That was way better. The Kuh. Kuh is Kuh. So basically, so die Kuh is the cow vom Eis.
Yeah.
From the ice, and holen is to fetch. So essentially, the one-to-one English translation is to fetch the cow from the ice.
Oh my God, that makes no sense.
I know.
Why is the cow in the ice?
I know.
Why?
I don't know, Steph. I don't make the rules.
Oh my gosh. You know, and this is the problem between having animal names and then animal names when they're on a plate. That's why I don't know cow. I'm sticking with that because we did a restaurant lesson, but not a farm lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
So it essentially means to solve a very specific problem, a big problem or a tricky problem. So the cow's on the ice. It's obviously thin, and they're worried it's going to fall into the water, and then you fetch the cow from the ice, and it means to get a solution for a specific problem. And I love it. I absolutely love that one.
Can you really fetch the cow? I mean, they're heavy. they're going to sink really fast.
And it's a safe route to move because if it's standing on the ice and it's not falling in, maybe you just leave it. You know, maybe the cow's safe. Just leave the cow.
Wait for him to sleep and then slide him off the ice.
That's a whole other idiom. To slide the cow from ice.
Clearly not
to slide
German.
a sleeping cow from ice. No, we're clearly not German. I love that one. So next one. This is something that you will maybe find useful for a situation that you might be in as a new foreigner in Germany, Steph. It's Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof.
This is an idiom, not just a statement. Okay. But Bahnhof is like train station.
Exactly, yeah.
Or metro station, or one of those, yeah. Which always sounds like barnyard to me, so I giggle. So is it something like I look for? No, but that's just practical. That's not an idiom. Huh.
I look for the Bahnhof. I look for the train station. Yeah, that is more practical. So ich verstehe means I understand. Nur is only.
Oh,
Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof. So I only understand train station.
See, and I was thinking you were saying the word for new. Yeah, my listening sucks.
Yeah, but you're new, Steph. You're just learning the language for the first time. It's not.
I'm so new. I can't remember the word for new.
Yeah. So
I understand the train station.
I only understand train station.
Does that mean that they don't drive? They're like a paper driver?
That is a great guess. It is a great guess, but it's not correct. It's very incorrect.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Very incorrect. It means basically when you say ich verstehe nur Bahnhof, it's when somebody said something to you and you didn't get any of it. So you're basically saying, I only understood the word train station. Even if that person didn't say it, it's like, it obviously comes from something. I don't know where these things come from, but it's just a way of saying I only understood one aspect of it. And the fact that they probably didn't say train station is even funnier because you're just saying that's all I understood of that. so basically,
it's like it's all Greek to me, even if
it's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it translates to.
Yeah.
Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof. Yeah.
I love it. The cow and the train station, they're all making their appearances in the idioms. It's so practical.
The Germans. This is one where you could say it could be X-rated, Steph, because maybe that's where your mind goes automatically. But it's not. So this one is deinen Senf dazu geben.
Senf, that's not the mustard senf.
It is. Yeah. Deinen Senf.
Oh my God. Okay, so
dazu geben. How do you know the word for mustard already? Like, is that something I mean, A1?
Have you seen my pictures? I love food.
Oh, right. You would learn the food words first, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I grocery shop so often. Anyway, yeah. So, deinen Senf.
Deinen Senf dazu geben.
Dazu geben. We give some.
Geben. Yeah.
Something give, but who gives what? See, this is where cases kick my butt. So something mustard gives something?
Or
what?
You're giving
your mustard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're giving your mustard to something. Deinen Senf dazu geben. To give your mustard
like
to
your
it.
2 cents or something.
Exactly, Steph. Exactly.
No way.
You nailed it.
See, I should get my permanent residency right now. I'm
give her a permanent residency. Why are we even talking about this? Yeah. Why are we even having this discussion?
6 months.
Why are you queuing at 1 o'clock in the morning? Just give her the papers.
She gets the mustard.
She first of all she knew mustard and she understood this idiom. I'm sorry. What more do you want? That's like you can't pass any better test.
Fun tip: we have 3 types of mustard in we basically have a dorm fridge in the apartment. We have 3 types of mustard in there.
3 types.
So I know my senf. 3.
So
one that is questionable flavoring, one that is mild, and one that is spicy.
Yeah, you got to be careful with senf. There's good ones and there's bad ones. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I should probably throw out the bad one, but anyway.
Nah. So, well, let's do one more. I think we'll do one more. Which one am I going to do? Let's do one that I've heard a few times. Let's do this one. Da kannst du Gift drauf nehmen.
Oh man, one more time.
Da kannst du Gift drauf nehmen. And sorry, you have to deal with my terrible pronunciation, so that's not helping things.
You can. No.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, kannst du is so basically da kannst du.
Oh, it's got da again. I keep hearing articles when it's da. Okay. There, can you, what? See, word order kills me.
Yeah, I know.
You give something and I forget what Naaman means because I should know that one.
So da, this is a weird formulation, to be honest, because that da messes things up a bit, and the word order is very, very confusing here. So basically, it's da. So da in this case means that, you could say that. Da.
Okay.
In this case, it's not always the case, but in this case, and then
right.
Kannst du. So there, can you, and gift means poison. So
why would I know that?
And then drauf. So da kannst du Gift drauf nehmen. It means you can take poison on that. Basically, is what it says. Wow. That's the 1-to-1 translation. But what does that mean as an idiom? Do you think?
So you're basically saying that someone's very strong because they can take anything.
No.
No. I love the polite pause before you tell me I'm so.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how I could tell you that you're very way.
Oh, just say it.
Way off.
Way off.
Way off course.
What does it mean?
It means you can bet on that. It's a sure thing. Like you can be so sure that you can put poison on it. Da kannst du Gift drauf nehmen. You can take poison on that. I don't know. But that's
why would you
know.
take poison if
No
it's
idea.
If you're so confident?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you take poison to get out of a situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You would think
this
that.
one.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other good
get
ones.
No.
Not
The
on
cow
board.
one was funny.
Yeah.
I get the mustard.
Yeah.
The train was interesting, but this one I don't get.
Steph's not on board with the idioms for you can bet on that German, so not happy with that one.
Yeah, the poison idioms are over there for me.
All right.
Many
I
of
thought
them?
you did fantastic. I was amazed that you knew some words like
Thank
Zenf,
you.
and it's exciting. And like I said, you had to deal with my crappy pronunciation, so that doesn't help.
Oh, please.
That doesn't help you on the other end. So good job on that game.
Thank you. Do I get a prize?
No. You came on the show. That's a prize.
Bummer. That is a prize. Yay.
All right, Steph, tell me about your podcast. Give me the elevator pitch for Geopats.
I've only been working on the elevator pitch for like 3 years and I still don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the one I came up with today. So the Geopats podcast is where we use our eyes, our ears, and our mouth to explore different cultures.
Ooh, damn. If that doesn't make you want to listen to it, people, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. Just go and listen to Geopats podcast. I like that. It's a good elevator pitch. That is very accurate, I think, and also quite intriguing if you don't know what the podcast is about.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't really know what it's about after listening to the elevator pitch. So I'm still going to work on it, but it's something. But under the umbrella of Geopats, we have books and internet, which are the eyes, the coffee, which is the mouth, and the podcast, which is the ears. And there's a few other shows that I've forgotten about. And we have a new Berlin show, which doesn't actually fit into any of that now that I think about it. But it is a new show based specifically on things happening, people. Nope, it's specifically about people in Berlin.
Yeah, and you've got such an interesting perspective on experiencing new cultures, and you're very insightful. So it's great, definitely worth listening to, and I can highly recommend going to listen to Geopats. Do it, people.
You are so kind. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to come into the German podcasting space. I know you and Nicole are very protective.
We are. We're. What you don't realize is we're ganging up against you. So
I know. I thought so. I'm
look, a
preparing
new
my
rival.
cows.
But to be honest, what we're realizing is that, or not what we're realizing, I can't speak for Nicole, but what I'm realizing is that there is a lot of podcasts about to hit in every niche you can imagine, but especially in this sort of expat podcast space. And I'm realizing I can't be rivals with everyone. It's very, very tiring.
You could try, but that's too many cows to count. So I think you should just join in on the fun.
Yeah,
and
maybe I should just
embrace all of us.
Maybe I should just do it.
Yay.
Maybe I just live a life of peace and love. Let's do that.
And I've actually, because it's really hard to find expat podcasts or people living outside their home country podcasts. So when I find them, I'm now adding them to a Podchaser list because we all use different terms for what we're doing, where we're doing it, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to collect the ones I find. So if you find any more, please let me know and I will add them to the list.
We'll do. And I'll also, please remind me to add that. I'll add that Podchaser list that you curate to the show notes as well.
Oh, lovely. Yes.
Where can people find you?
Yeah. StephFuccio.com, STEPHFUCCIO.com. Oh, should I say punt or punto? I forget.
Punkt.
Punt.com.
Yeah.
Punt. No, not punt.com.
No, I was going to say that's like saying .com.
Punt.com.
You can just say StephFuccio.com.
I can, and I will. Thank you.
Steph, it's been so much fun talking to you. Thanks for being a good sport with the idioms. And I'm very sure we will be speaking to each other on some podcast somewhere in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sean. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope you learned some German idioms. And I would love to know if you like the idea of me doing a show about German sexual innuendos and sexual idioms. It might be a bit of fun to slap an explicit on that podcast. If you're staying at home, are you still listening to the podcast? I mean, that's a stupid question to ask on this podcast, because if you're not listening to it, you wouldn't have heard me ask that. But if you are, and you're hearing this, I would love to know what your listening habits have become like. Are you listening less regularly than before because you're not commuting? Either mail me at info@thegermanyexperience.de or answer the post in the German Experience Facebook group that I'm going to put up. Yeah, just let me know what your habits are. I'd love to know how much podcast listening you're getting done during this weird time that we're in. So yeah, that's it for this week. Music in this episode, theme song by my band, 10 Cent Janes. Other music in the episode, Until the End, by Ryan Anderson. And hey, stay at home. Just stay at home. Auf Wiedersehen.